Hi everybody. Today I am making a bag. And if you were to look at those cuts and see how snatched they look crisp, they look clean. Look, I even got a cute little zipper. You might think that this is going to work out for me on the first try, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. It doesn't. It doesn't work out for me at all on the first try. Um, I will say that I put in a tremendous amount of effort in the very beginning to try to get it to work for me on the first time. I really went into this with a lot of false confidence because I had made a couple bags before. I was feeling like I finally had a handle on my sewing machine in a very basic way. Look, I'm learning how to use scissors for the first time. Then that should have been my first warning. Really, though, those scissors are kind of hard to use, and maybe somebody has like a little bit of some advice or a tip there, but for some reason, I guess they're fabric scissors. They're like real sewist scissors, and I don't know. I'm a sewist right now. I'm not a real sewist. I'm a fake sewist. But if somebody has any recommendations on how I can get those scissors to close better, they kind of have a little block in the way, so you can't close them all the way. And I don't know if that's the point, and I have to keep bending my hand in a specific way to get them to close all the way. I don't know, but it makes me feel really, really dumb that I can't seem to get those scissors to do what I want. Okay, this is a great part. So did you see what I just did there? So look at what I'm doing. First of all, I'm on the floor. That's where my little ironing board is. And for some reason, I don't realize that that is not iron on what the heck is the name of that? Gosh, what is the name of that? Why can't I think of the name of it? The reinforcement. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Interfacing. It's interfacing. For some reason, like I just decided to continually put the iron on something that wasn't iron on. Oh, okay. So we're doing better here. I figured it out. I got the right interfacing and now I'm ironing it on. And I'm feeling less like a jack. Still mostly like a jack though. Oh, look at me go. Yep. Give it a good iron, Katie. Keep going. Oh, yep. Pat it down because all of this is going to matter because you're not going to totally screw this up later. So I really put a lot of effort into every single step on the first go around. I will give you a spoiler. Spoiler alert. I have to do this twice and this is the first attempt and I have to do it twice because I totally end up screwing up. And looking back on this now, it's actually kind of devastating to me how much effort I really put in to being precise because it didn't matter. Ultimately, it didn't matter, and it's sad because I really loved this pattern, this pattern on this fabric. I don't know. I'm sure it has a real name. I know it has a real name. I don't want to look it up right now. I'm gonna call it like picnic tablecloth pattern, because that's kind of what it looks like to me. Just a tablecloth that you would take out in July. So I got this cute little zipper and I'm really lining it up. And this part always is difficult for me. Every book that I read and every single piece of advice I read online tells you not to be afraid of zippers, but like I am. I'm afraid of zippers. I'm sorry. I just am. Because it's hard to line them up correctly. And I know that that seems silly, but it is. It is hard to line them up correctly. Right now I am so proud of myself because I'm like getting my sewing machine ready, and this is something that really would have taken me a long time in the past, but I'm doing it pretty successfully. Sort of, kind of. I'm kind of doing it successfully. Something I learned on this round of sewing, on this specific sewing project, is that the bobbin needs to have the yarn pull from the back, if that makes any sense, to give it like the appropriate tension. And that was something that I didn't know of before, I didn't realize before. And I realized it on this project. And I think that's a really good example of how, you learn something with every project. I was like, why aren't I getting like a little bit nicer stitching on the bottom? And it was because the thread wasn't pulling from the back. It was pulling from the front. It wasn't giving enough tension. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know really anything about sewing. I'm just totally learning as I go. And that's really created something interesting. Now, if you've looked there, you could see that I've made a mistake. I've made a mistake. I don't realize I've made it yet, but I have one side sewn. There I go with the second side. Yep. Look at her go. She's so confident. She's really putting effort into like, oh, look at like focused I am. Oh yeah, she's so focused. She's got such a strong face on right now. She's like, I am going to make this line up. Now wait. Oh, and she realizes her mistake. Out the stitches go. Yep, we're just gonna rip that all out. I put the lining on top like a less than intelligent woman. Okay, now I'm figuring it out. Yep. Okay, we got that on. Yep. And like zipper, I don't know if it's because I don't know what it is, but like when I sew zippers, it's really hard for me to like conceptually understand how to place the lining. Like wrong side up, wrong side down, where the zipper goes sandwiched in between them. It's difficult. And I really take a lot of time to focus on that. And I still screwed it up on the first go around. I still had to pull out all those stitches. All right, so here I go on round number 2. And I'm gonna give it a little back stitch. Proud of myself for that one. I forget to do that a lot. Snip, snip. Okay. And we're gonna go back over the part I missed with the zipper. Okay, look! Oh, it's so cute. And I'm even ironing my edges. I am getting so excited at this point because I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks cute. And I'm going to do a little top stitch. I'm going to iron. And I love what I'm doing. I love how flexible I am. I'm extremely flexible. It's kind of freaky. All right, so now we're top stitching, and still, little do I know that none of this matters yet because this bag is not going to work out. Although it doesn't, we don't really see that yet. We don't see that yet, that we're not at the point where this could be a successful project. But I'm really excited, and I think you can really tell that like I really wanted these straight lines. Like I put a lot of energy and time into making some nice cuts. Oh, here's another mistake. Here I go making more. And I guess that's why I like to share these because I don't know. I don't know why I like to share these. I also don't know why I insist on putting fabric into my machine facing to the right. Like I could have just flipped it over just like I'm doing right now. But I make it more difficult for myself. And I like filming this kind of stuff because I can see the things that I don't necessarily see in real time. I'm like, why did I do it that way? So what I did here wrong is I have sewed both pieces together, if that makes any sense. So I'm making the little boxes. So I'm taking two ends, putting the two ends of that square, putting them together and stitching. And what I did instead of what was successful, what was the correct thing to do, is I put both sides of the lining together and both sides of the outside together and sewed them together. And I think that was really an error in the book that I'm using to make these projects with the instructions, like my pattern book, because I must have, I couldn't believe that I had made that mistake. And I read the instructions maybe like 20 times over and over again to like really try to get some clarity on what error I was making. And here you could see like I'm going back and fixing all of the edges and I had to separate them and now I'm redoing it. Um and it wasn't very clear and I kind of figured that one out on my own, which I'm proud of myself, but it still was difficult. Okay, so now I fixed the edges and I'm going around and I'm actually sewing the entire little bag together, taking out my little clips, and this is kind of where, yeah, this is where everything goes off the rails. And you can I actually just made the error. Yep. And I'm going to make it again here. Yeah, there she goes. She doesn't know what she's doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm getting better with every attempt. I think I'm getting better with every attempt. I will say, even though that this bag was a complete failure, at the end of this video, there is a success. There is a success. So we did get out of this sewing hole with a completed usable project that is actually very cute. So stick around to the end to watch that. I love watching me do things after I have done them, because the knowledge of how that went after the fact, and then watching my naivete in the moment is entertaining for me. Okay, here I go. I don't know if I love or hate this part, trying to turn it inside out. It's such a pain in the booty. Okay, so this is where I realized, oh, I screwed up. All right, so I'm sewing the lining now, or the inside, finishing that up. And I think at this point I was already pretty sad, because it was kind of hard to hide how the bag looked at this point, and their sewing the lining wasn't going to fix how the bag looked on the outside. All right, here it is. Look at that bottom. Oh gosh, she's so boggy. That's a boggy bottom if I've ever seen one. Oh, it's terrible. Those lines are awful. They're like not lined up together. I didn't know how to fold the fabric. Oh my God. The lining is so big. The whole thing is just, oh, it's a mess. And like, truthfully, it's not that bad. Like, I mean, it's bad. It's not great. It's not good. But if I were to have seen this bag a year or two ago, and someone told me that I had made it, I'd be like, "Oh, wow, like I made that?" But like, the construction is so poor because I did not correctly line up the edges of the boxed bottoms. And then when I was going around sewing the whole bag together, I didn't fold them in the appropriate direction where they would have given me a really nice clean edge. So they came out really messy, and like, look at my poor desperation. I'm like trying to like I'm trying to like pull the fabric out, but I can't. And I don't want the bag to be totally toast, but she totally toast. And like, it's usable. Like, could I put something in there? Yeah, of course I could put something in there. I don't know if I would ever. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know what I've done with this bag. I might have thrown it out. I don't know. I may have thrown it out. I don't like clutter. I don't like having stuff that like I don't use. I do like being able to look at my progress. So I'd like to be able to see old projects. Oh, look, failure sucks. Failure totally sucks. Failure sucks so bad. But you know what? You need to fail to know how you need to improve. And that I did. So I think it's funny. Oh, look, there are the scissors that I don't really know how to use. See, those scissors are like hard to close. Um, so I'm really putting, again, a lot of effort into my cuts. It's funny because I, at this point, was like so determined to get a nice bag. And I think it's also funny because this fabric is different from the other fabric. It came in like the same um bundle of fabric, whatever those are called, the little squares that come in, for like quilting and stuff. It was still in the same, that's, by the way, that's the book that I'm using to like learn how to make bags. And I'm just kind of going through it one pattern at a time. Um, Also look at my Crouch. Also look at my dog. He's so cute back there, my little Jack Jack. He's just like this woman. She don't know what she's doing. But I'm gonna sit here and support her throughout it. He's such a good boy. But yeah, so I am like super desperate at this point to make something nice. And I I don't really know. I was running on the fuel of just pure irritation, honestly. So I don't I feel like I executed the beginning steps a lot faster this time around, and that's probably just because it was not the first time I've done it. Like, you get better, you get quicker with every single attempt. Um, and I think the fabric's cute because it's not the first fabric I used. This plaid is a little bigger, but it's very reminiscent. So I felt like, okay, like I'm still gonna get a bag that I wanted, the same type of bag that I wanted. I also like the lining choice better because I like that it's red and not the red and green. I picked the red and green initially because it was a complementary color, but I liked almost the uniformness of the red and the plaid. It's okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm starting to line things up again. Oh, look, I gave it a little back stitch. Could you believe it? And here we go. I'm really trying to uh, be very mindful of, of my edge. I am, at this point, I think I'm filled mostly with just pure determination to complete this project. We're getting there. But I also, at this point, want to get to the point where I screwed up the last time. So, not that I don't like doing zippers. I don't love doing zippers. I find them like really tedious. I think that that will kind of go away as I get better with them. Unfortunately, that means I'm just going to have to keep making more of them. But eventually, I don't think zippers are going to feel as much of an obstacle as they feel right now. Every time I sew a zipper, I feel like, oh my God, I really have to pay attention to this. All right, so we've gotten somewhere. Okay, look, I didn't screw up the lining and the outside of the bag this time. I didn't actually put it on backwards, so we have that going for us. Um, what else? What else am I doing? Oh, look! I love what I'm doing right now. Like I've realized that I don't need to crouch. I'm just sitting on my chair. This is like the definition to me of work smarter and not harder. But sometimes I do like crouching down, squatting, because it really relieves that pressure in my lower back. And as a big breasted nurse, I have so much low back pain, it's outrageous. And then when I sew, for some reason, like at my desk, I get like crazy pain in the middle of my shoulder blades at the end of the day. I don't feel it right away, but I feel it like an hour or two later. It hurts. But sometimes, like squatting like that decompresses my low back, and it's really nice. It feels like a really good deep stretch. Okay, so lining everything up again. We're praying that we're gonna get where we need to go. And I do like these binder clips. I don't feel like I need so many of them. And I like to clip over all of the lining, and then I like to clip in between the lining because I feel like that kind of holds things a little bit better in place. So like I'll clip the zipper to the inner lining, and then I'll clip all three together, all three pieces of fabric, the zipper, the lining, and the outside. And I'll stagger those clips, and I feel like I get a really nice hold. um, the only frustrating thing about using the clips, in my opinion, is having to stop and take it off. Oh, look, I screwed up again. And like, my God, this poor seam ripper, she should get paid because she works her little tush off. Um, I don't always rip seams well, but I can pull them out. So we're gonna try this again. And look at what a mess, oh my gosh, with the threads just like pulling out. It's like cheap Hobby Lobby cotton. I know I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I hate Hobby Lobby, okay? Like with a passion. I went to Hobby Lobby. I hate to say it, but I did. I have to own that. I went to Hobby Lobby when I went back to visit some family in New Jersey, because my Hobby Lobby here is like an hour, an hour-ish from where I live. And I hate Hobby Lobby, so I don't have any interest in going to Hobby Lobby. But I went to the Hobby Lobby in New Jersey because I was with family, and I really sometimes just like, sometimes when I'm visiting where I'm from, I really, really need to make sure that like I have something to do with my hands because I get a lot of nervous energy, sometimes going back, and I didn't have some supplies, and Hobby Lobby was the closest craft store to where I was staying with some family. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I picked up these little squares. Oh, I jammed my machine. Oh, I hate jamming my machine. Jamming my machine sucks. And like at this point, I realize that usually when I get a bird's nest, it's because something has happened with the tension. Typically, it's because the thread has popped out of like step 4 of the tension threader, that thing where you go down and then you go up and you put it in a little metal hook thing and it lives there in that little hole in that hook, and sometimes it just slips right out. So back to the part where I have to sew the corners of the squares. This time, I'm happy to say I didn't sew them all together, have to rip them apart and do it again. So at least that went better for me. I almost am happy that I screwed up the bag, because the second attempt, doing the second attempt so quickly after failing on the first, was really good in my opinion, because it basically was doing everything I had just done, but doing it faster and with a more clear idea of what each step was going to be next. When I did it the first time, I was doing it blindly, like I was reading the instructions and I was doing the step and then reading the instructions and doing the step. And not that that's bad, but that's like the first time you do anything. And this time I knew what each step was going to be, so I was better able to set myself up for the entire project rather than just step 1, step 2, and step 3. So now I'm going around the bag and I'm sewing it all together. This time it really came together too a lot faster, like for obvious reasons, because it's not my first time doing this. So I know what I have to do. I'm not stopping to look back at the instructions over and over again. I do that a lot. Like I'll read the same thing over and over and over again, out of fear that I am missing something. Okay, so this is the part. There you go, Katie. You did it. So I really folded that edge towards the middle. And here, coming up, I'm going to take these binder clips out and do the same thing. This is where I screwed up last time. I didn't fold those edges towards the middle. I just kind of folded them down because I didn't think about the consequences of not putting more thought into that decision. So I just folded them down, and now I have a much cleaner line that's going to come from that. Here I'm going to do it again. You can see, look, I take those edges and I fold them towards the middle. And that was instinct. I didn't look it up or anything. I just kind of like got lucky. I just assumed that that would be how you would do it, I guess. So at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous because we're at the part where I was devastated last time. So again, we're going to take all the patience in the world to turn everything inside out. And look at that bottom. She's not so boggy. And look at her. So I'm excited right now because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a nice bag. So, yep, yep, snip, snip. Here we go. There's always so much thread, it drives me crazy. So I'm kind of just taking the finishing touches on this bag right now, just cutting off all the little pieces of thread, and I'm like, oh my god. All right, so here's where things get a lot of fun. And the magic happens after all that hard work, after that complete and utter failure the first time. I have a nice bag. And I'm excited. I'm like really proud of myself. I really was so disappointed on the first bag because I was excited to have a cute little bag. This bag's even better though. It's bigger. The ends came out really nice on the bottom, and the lining is nice, and just like the zipper, I like the gray zipper with the red plaid. Like it just looks like classic like Americana summer, you know. Um Here I'm taking my little erasable pencil and shoving it in all the corners. But I'm really proud of the bottom of this bag. And like, that's after one decent mistake. I feel like I learned that lesson, like how to face the seams, how to fold them and sew them, and I feel like that wasn't really in the book. Look how cute that bag is. Dang girl, she's cute. She is cute. I like her a lot. Yep. So now I'm just admiring my work and let's admire her together. Yeah, she's cute. And I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Probably like knitting or crochet or like sewing notions. I want to work on the linings. I feel like some of my linings are a bit baggy. Like they're a little too much fabric even though they're measured the same as the outside. Now I'm going to do a little dance with it. You're going to see that a couple of times. I danced with the bag a couple times because I'm so excited. I just like I can't believe like look at me. Look at her. Yeah, she's dancing. I like that bottom. I like the zipper. Okay, now we're gonna oh, it's so sad. Let's compare and contrast. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's not pretty. Especially when you compare it to this one. Oh, there she is. Look at that bottom. That bottom sculpted. That bottom is sculpted. And yeah, no, I'm just so excited and like take this as a sign like just keep going, man. Just keep going. Just keep doing, keep trying. And I am just learning how to do this and I'm hoping over the years that I'll get much better. But oh, she's back. Here she is again. She's back. But I'm hoping, that I get a lot better and I'm excited to see what I'm going to be making a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and hopefully one day maybe I'll be able to make my own clothes really nice. That would be awesome. So, yep, little dance with the bag. Little bag dance. Little bag dance. That's what we're going to call that. Mhm. Look at her. Look at she's so cute. I'm really proud of myself for this one. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I was excited to share this video with you. I'm excited to show you guys my little bag dance. This was definitely a labor of love and pure frustration and determination, but we have reached the end, and at the end we have a cute little bag. Thanks so much for watching with me. I will see you on the next one. Bye.